All right. We're live. Welcome back, everyone. J Bone here from Smash This Podcast. Catching up on some MLW. Yeah, I know. It's been a while, right? We did a little bit last week. We talked about the Battle Riot, but we've had a few episodes since, actually 3 of them. So I'm not going to review all of them. I know in the description it says, or in the title it says number 55, but I want to talk about a few things that happened in the weeks prior to that. We're going to talk about some highlights from 53 and 54, and then we'll get into 55 from this past week. We got another one coming in another couple days. We'll try to get to that one somewhere. Maybe we'll try to get back to doing that on Mondays, because I tell you what, man, WWE is sucking wind lately. Oh, my God. Last 2 weeks, horrible. When the highlight is Bray Wyatt, you know it's bad. Leading into Money in the Bank. All right, let's talk some MLW, Major League of Wrestling, if you will. Let's see. What do I have here for 53? And I didn't write down stuff for every single match. By all means, if you had some highlights from the past few weeks that I hadn't discussed, please put in the comments as well. MJF versus Brian Pillman. Brian Pillman coming out with a win. That was a fun match. I tell you what, this whole feud between the Dynasty and the Hart Foundation that's been building over the course of the last, I'd say, month. One of my favorite rivalries in wrestling right now. What these two teams are doing to each other, it's ridiculous. There was footage from, I don't remember if it was from 53 or 54. You know how MJF always, tries to come off as being this classy guy, and they came in with this like big vehicle. Well, apparently at the end of one of these episodes, I didn't write it down on my notes, but the Hart Foundation stole the vehicle, and at the end of the episode, Brian Pillman, they're driving past, Teddy Hart's driving, Davey Boy Smith's shotgun, and they censor it out, but Brian Pillman Jr. is in the back seat with his ass hanging out the window, slapping his ass like, kiss our ass. Oh, my God. Absolutely priceless. And then when they found the vehicle, and that was actually at the start of 55, so this is, like I said, this has been ongoing for a while. They found the vehicle, and it was like full of like blown up condoms and markers and all sorts of weird shit. I don't know. It's crazy. Oh my God. Too good. Too good. See, in WWE, they're flipping vehicles. In MLW, they're just trashing vehicles with condoms and weird stuff. It's crazy, right? Let's see. LA Park. Okay, this goes back to episode 53. LA Park had an open challenge, fought Sami Callihan. LA Park coming out with a win. And then the next week, the headlining match was Sami Callihan versus Mance Warner. And they made it sound like it was kind of a grudge match. But what's interesting is in this match, Ricky Martinez and Io de LA Park end up attacking him, and Mance Warner and Sami Callihan actually end up in an alliance against Ricky Martinez and AO de LA Park. So that's crazy because out of that match, they ended up gaining a fair amount of respect for each other because neither guy backed down. It's crazy. Which, I mean, they were doing everything to each other, and I don't understand why it actually ended up in a DQ. So there was actually no contest. So I got a feeling we're going to have Callahan versus Mance again, but I think they're going to wait a while. Jackson Parker up the top rope in here. Too sweet. What's up? Welcome, my brother. Let's see what else. That was actually a pretty loaded episode. We also had the champ had a promo talking about he's going to have some friends coming. And they just recently announced that in Fury Road, in the MLW debut in Milwaukee, there's some big stuff happening in Milwaukee, and I'm really excited about this. I'm even more excited because I'm actually going to be there to witness this live. There's a match that they just advertised. So the champ, Filthy Tom Lawler, is going to be in a match against all of Contra. Now, we don't know if it's going to be a 3-on-2 or a 3-on-3, but Tom Lawler says he's got some friends showing up. And I got a feeling some people are going to debut in MLW, but I have absolutely no clue who these guys are. I've been kind of like catching up on some of the newsletters that I've missed lately, so I don't know who's going to debut. I haven't heard anything. That's the thing. When we have new people show up in MLW, some of these guys I've heard of before. Some of them you haven't. They're just fresh off the indies. So it's actually kind of nice. You see a lot of fresh faces pretty often in MLW, and I'm digging that. Jackson Parker says, I finally recorded Dark Side of the Ring. Oh, that's a tremendous series. How many episodes has there been of Dark Side of the Ring? There's been 4. The 4th one was last night. That was the Kevin the Von Erich family tragedy. So that's number 4. There's 2 more. Gino Hernandez is next week. I believe that's his name. And that's one I know nothing about. The last one is Fabulous Moolah. That's going to be very interesting as well. If I don't know if you have cable or how you're going to watch them, but I believe they're also all on demand. You can check on social media. If you go to like Viceland.com or there's some website, you can like watch them on demand. I don't know why that's censored. You're ready for New Japan? Okay, cool. I haven't watched that in so long, dude. I mean, I watched Wrestle Kingdom, and that's about it. Like ever since, most of the AEW guys left, I really haven't had much interest. It's still good wrestling. I just haven't seen a lot to like really drag me back in, Let's see what else is going on here. Ray Horace and Airwolf. It's great to see Ray Horace used on a regular basis. He's used on 54 and 55, I believe. Yes. So good to see him. That's another one that I don't know if he's still under contract with Lucha Underground or not. He's Dragon Azteca Jr. But I keep calling him. It's like you get a guy with a little southern twang in his voice, like Jim Cornette, and he's trying to say I say Ray Horace, but you're supposed to say it a little more like Horus, I guess. But when he says that, it just sounds like all messed up. So whatever. He's trying his best. We all do, right? I mean, if there's a certain way to say it, you know, we're learning, right? Uh, but yeah, tremendous seeing Ray. And they remind us, which I forgot, that he's the cousin of Rey Mysterio Jr., uh, which is pretty cool. Have you been to the South? Yes, but it's been a long time. I had friends, old friends, and we went down there to visit his parents. Oh, gosh. It's like a lifetime ago. It was during my last marriage. I couldn't tell you what year it was. Early 2000s is my best guess. And we'd all drive down there, and it was crazy. Just listening to all the people, and by the time I got back, I was talking Southern. Like I just picked it up with a Southern twang, and it took me a week to get rid of it. It was crazy. What Southern states have you been to? Oh gosh, mostly Southeast, Florida. Oh God, my geometry is so horrible. I mean geography. um, we stayed in Concord, just a couple blocks away from the big speedway. Um, and then we went from there down from North Carolina to South Carolina, and then through, was that Georgia? I don't know. Down to Florida. And then we went back up through the Virginias to the Smoky Mountains or something. It's real fuzzy, dude. Like I said, that was a lifetime ago, and things weren't the best back then. So a lot of it's very fuzzy. But I did, stick my feet in the ocean. That was pretty cool. Or technically it's that body of water right off of Texas, between Texas and Florida. It's not called the Atlantic Ocean. It's called something else, but I still say I stuck my foot in the ocean. It's all connected. Gulf of Mexico. Is that the Gulf of Mexico? I guess it is. You're in Arkansas. Okay. Arkansas. Cool. All right. Back to MLW. Look at this. Geography 101. It's getting an F over here. Oh, let's see. Ace Romero trying to get some revenge on Joseph Samael of Contra. And just does not go well. Joseph comes out with a win. Simon Gotch and Jacob Fatu end up beating down Ace Romero even more. Barrington Hughes comes in for the rescue, and that's just a big fail. They beat him down, and just take them both out. So if we don't see in this, after watching this, I was like, okay, maybe, just maybe, because these guys are having trouble with Contra. If we're not getting a debut of someone new in Milwaukee, maybe Ace Romero and Barrington Hughes will show up in Milwaukee, and they'll be Tom Lawler's tag team partners. That's a guess, just because you see how storylines flow and they put stuff together. It's like, okay, it would make sense for them to show up in Milwaukee. We'll see. I kind of hope it's someone new, but we'll see. But he said when my friends get here, so I don't know. We'll see. Oh, you didn't have to retract all those messages, you goof. Hope my dreams wrestling crush Kerrigan Hogan wins the title. Are you talking about like Knockouts title? Maybe someday. We'll see. I'm hoping MLW gets a women's title. Yeah, okay. She is getting better though. She is improving. I'll say that. Kiera Hogan's getting better. Ray Horace. Oh, I was talking about this before for my geometry lesson. Ray Horace and Airwolf against the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Phoenix. That was sick. Tremendous tag team match there. Lucha Brothers coming out with a win there. All right, now on to this past week's MLW 55. They start out with a big announcement. I'm super excited about this. I don't know who they're going to pick for this, but in the next several weeks, they're going to have a tournament for a brand new championship. History is going to be made on June 1st. They are going to announce they're going to be the finish of the finals of this tournament to find the brand new national open weight champion. Brand new championship. So they've got the middleweight championship, which is kind of like a cruiserweight championship in a sense because it's 205 and lower. And this one's going to be open weight. So it's going to be kind of like an intercontinental championship in a sense, like something to springboard you towards something better, the MLW heavyweight championship. So anybody and everybody can go after this as long as I'm not sure if you have to be above 205. If it's open weight, it should be anything. But I'm not sure exactly all the stuff on it. But nonetheless, they're going to crown a brand new champion in Milwaukee. Just another great moment in wrestling history for Milwaukee. I mean, I've seen plenty in Milwaukee with, WWF/WWE over the years. And now with another company debuting on TV. And I was kind of wondering who was going to be the first in 2019 to possibly debut in Milwaukee. Was it going to be MLW? Was it going to be Impact? Was it going to be AEW? We didn't know. Now we know. MLW is going to make history in Milwaukee. Oh, real quick thing. It's actually right outside of Milwaukee. And now I had to laugh about this. I live right outside of Milwaukee, like 5 minutes away from Milwaukee, just a hop, skip, and a jump away. The next county west is Waukesha County. Okay. I live in Brookfield, just north of Waukesha. Okay. That's where the MLW show is going to be. Rich Bicini pronounced it Waukesha. You're mispronouncing the wrong syllable. It's Waukesha. It's Waukesha County Expo Center is where Fury Road is going to take place. Do you watch Joe Cronin. Recently, yeah, I started tuning in once in a while, couple times. I was actually watching them last night for a while. We follow each other on Twitter. Yeah, cool. I follow them. Do you think MLW would come to Arkansas? Um, as long as the brand keeps growing, I feel like any wrestling brand can go anywhere. So just give it time, Or I don't know if you can travel to another place near you to go see it. I know they're big in Florida, they're big in New York. They're just starting to get their foothold in the Midwest. Um, they've been to Chicago a few times now. They're debuting in Milwaukee in a month from now, June 1st, or just less, well, whatever, just less than a month from now. So yeah, I'm sure they're going to go all over the place. It's just a matter of time. Anything's possible in wrestling. This has been a crazy year so far. You never know. You really don't. It's just one of those, you got to pay attention if you're a wrestling fan. It's a really good time to be a fan because anyone can show up anywhere. We've just found out recently when Michael Elgin just debuted in Impact Wrestling. Had no clue. It was pretty cool. So yeah, brand new championship, Fury Road, Waukesha, June 1st for MLW. Very cool. Jordan Oliver makes his in-ring singles debut. He debuted during Battle Riot, but people were debuting or people were showing up and getting kicked out so fast. He was one of those like newer names. It was like, who is this guy? Oh, he's already gone. It don't even matter, So, but Jordan Oliver comes out to some crazy instrumental thing of Eminem getting booed before he barely gets to the ring. Pretty funny. And he's fighting Cota Brazil, and he actually wins his first match against Cota Brazil. His finisher is a top rope, or he won. I don't know if this is his finisher, but he won it with a top rope springboard cutter. Looked pretty badass. I mean, this guy got booed out of the building, but nonetheless, not a bad match. Some interference and distraction from Selena De La Renta and Ricky Martinez. Obviously not done with Cota Brazil and his one eye. Me and you follow each other. Oh, yeah. What am I drinking? Drinking a Rockstar. Punched. Fruit punch. Really, really unhealthy. This is not one of the like diet ones. So just wanted to drink something different tonight. Forgot I had it in my fridge. Can't have a beer because I got to leave right after this. I'm going to go wrestle for MLW. Hey, good luck, man. Do you watch Capital Wrestling? No, but I think they're on powerslam.tv. So if you look down in the description, you want a free month, you put in my code, you can get a free month. Smash This Free, I believe, is the promo code. I haven't said that in a while. I really got to promote that more. Or they're going to kick me out of the site. Here's the thing. If you're going to watch wrestling pay-per-views live and free, it's better if you watch them on social media. Because the website and the links take you to those things. You know what? Yeah, there's some nefarious things that they take you to. It's not very good. So yeah, I mean, just if you got a good computer and you got some good ad blocks, it's not so bad. I got a good ad block on my Google. Um, Works really well for me, so that helps. But if you don't want to deal with that, you can find a decent social media site that helps you with that. Hey, cool. You got to do what you got to do. What's next here? Oh, guy from Germany, someone new to MLW, wrestler for WXW in Germany. They called him like one of the top guys in Germany, apparently. New name to me, not knocking him, just saying. So I don't know, but he's going to get some recognition here. Don't know how long he's going to be around, but he apparently was given a contract to fight Tom Lawler for the MLW Championship. It's Avalanche. Robert Dresker. I think that's how they pronounced it, was Dresker. And I was like, because I'm an old wrestling fan, and I was like, Avalanche, that sounds familiar. And so I looked it up, and sure enough, there was an old wrestler from WWF, went to WCW, also did some sumo wrestling. He was called Avalanche in WCW, but was also back in the WWF. He was Earthquake. And I was like, oh, yeah, that guy. And he would God, he had a face only a mother could love. He'd stomp around, and he was like over 400 pounds or some crazy stuff. And then there was he was in a tag team with someone else, and oh God, I can't remember if it was Tugboat or someone else. I can't remember. That goes way back to like 1990 or whatever, or 80s or something. Late 80s, early 90s. I think it was early 90s, 90, 91-ish. Man, that's really fuzzy. But I remember, seeing him jump around and stuff. But no, this isn't the same guy. But I had to look it up. I'm like, wasn't there a guy called Avalanche? Watch things like that. Go looking up. You're right. Do you like sandwiches? Sure. I love food, which is why I'm over 250 pounds. I need to lose weight. See, from here up, I look, fine. From here down, oh, yeah, it's rough, dude. Yeah, I shouldn't drink stuff like this. But starting this next week, I'm starting a new diet. I'm going to do my best to try to lose about 60, 70 pounds. Wish me luck. So, all right, what's next for this? Oh, we talk about Jordan Oliver beating Kota Brazil. Talk about Avalanche. Ace Austin versus Ray Horace. Like I said, he was in a couple matches throughout the course of these few episodes I'm talking about. Ray Horace gets a win over Ace Austin. Really good back and forth match. A lot of fun. And they kept bringing up that open weight championship. So I have absolutely no doubt that these two guys are going to be involved in it. Ace Austin and Ray Horace. So we'll see. And if I had to pick a name out of a hat right off the bat, if they stick him in the tournament for a win in this, I'll say, I'm going to say Hammerstone. The guy has a bright future in this brand, in my opinion. Are you sitting at a table? No, I'm actually at a desk. Come up with some very interesting questions. I'm a teenager, but when I graduate, I want to be a wrestler. Yeah. Good luck, man. I mean, it just takes a lot of hard work, and you got to find the right school. You got to find a really good school, because some of the trainers out there just want to take your money. Really good one. Just got put in the cauliflower thing in Vegas where they show respect to each other, kind of an award ceremony. Cody, what's his name? Cody Hawks, um, trainer to Eli Drake, and also someone who just left the WWE, starting out on his own again, John Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose. So, see what's around you. Good luck. Ace Austin versus Ray Horus. Tremendous match. Ray Horus coming out with a win here. And it looks like there's some problems brewing between Low Key and Selena De La Renta. Selena De La Renta, they show her backstage and she's on the phone and she's dealing with stuff. And she's like, Low Key's talking about this upcoming tournament. Sounds like he wants to get into it. And obviously, she's his manager, so she's the one that should be like, pushing the buttons, getting things in motion. And he's kind of like, hey, what are we doing? What's the next move? And she's like, I'll get back to you. And he's like, yeah, that ain't cool. She's like blowing him off. And that's something you shouldn't do with Low Key, because he's he's been really good for her group, her organization, if you will, So yeah, could we see a change in the future for Low Key? Would be very interesting. I mean, if he's a babyface or heel, it really doesn't matter to me. He's well respected. He's one of my favorites in this brand. He's just an ass kicker, and he's ruthless. He's like a wild dog, Crazy. Especially in the battle riot. Holy cow. All guns blazing. He didn't win it, but when he showed up, he knew he meant business. And then a 6-man. Oh, earlier I left this out. I gotta say this going into this. Earlier, like one of the first things in the episode, Brian Pillman Jr. gets attacked in the locker room. And so leading into this one, this is the main event, 6-man, because it's actually 3-on-2 what it starts out to be. 6-man tag tables match, the Dynasty versus Hart Foundation. So you got MJF, Hammerstone, and Richard Holiday, versus the Hart Foundation, Teddy Hart, Davey Boy Smith Jr. Brian Pillman Jr. shows up later, but the match starts out as a 3-on-2. Trying to read my notes. Okay. Penmanship's horrible. It's like a doctor's. Jeez Louise. Highlight of this match, absolutely sick. And if you follow MLW Live, they put out a GIF of one of the moves from this event right after it happened live. And I saw it, and it was just ridiculous. It was the Doomsday Destroyer. MJF was on top of Davey Boy Smith Jr.'s shoulders. Teddy Hart was on the top rope in the corner, top turnbuckle, actually standing on top of the back of Hammerstone. Hammerstone was like sitting on the top turnbuckle, like bent over, so his back was parallel. Teddy launched off and did the Canadian Destroyer off of Davey Boy Smith Jr. like over his head. Unflippin' believable. I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, you've seen some devastating moves over the years off of ladders from high up or whatever. But as far as just in the ring, this was just sick. Doomsday Destroyer. Crazy. I'm sure it's not the first time it's been done, but man, I can't remember the last time I've actually seen something this devastating in the ring. Rest in peace, MJF. I mean, jeez Louise, poor guy. But you'd think this would have put the nail in the coffin of the dynasty, but nope. Hammerstone ends up putting Brian Pillman Jr. excuse me. Hammerstone ends up putting Brian Pillman Jr. through the table in the corner, winning the match for him. So you can say that the dynasty's one up on these guys. But this has been going back and forth, like I said, for a while over the last few months. You know, one team gets one up, like, you know, the whole vehicle thing. Brian Pillman Jr. beat MJF a few weeks ago. So, yeah, it's going back and forth. But I love this rivalry. I don't know if this is going to be the end of it or what. But we'll see. But nonetheless, I'm digging this. I think this is all going to lead to someone from the dynasty going after Teddy Hart's championship. Unless that already happened, I'm not sure. I might have missed that episode. I think it was actually before WrestleMania weekend. So in the process of trying to catch up, I think I've missed a couple episodes. So I might have missed that one. I'm going to have to go back and check. But I think MJF actually tried to wrestle him for it. So that's it for this one. Catching up a little bit on MLW. If you came in late, the replay will be up on wrestlingwithwrestling.com. Yes, trying to get back into the habit of getting content back up on that site. I've been slacking, and I apologize. Sorry, Andre. Don't hate me. Good brother, Andre Corbeil, running wrestlingwithwrestling.com with all sorts of great wrestling content, reviews, wrestling from around the world. And that's one thing he's priding himself in. He's trying to get stuff from all corners of the world on that website, which is pretty spectacular. And I'm glad to be a part of it. Proud of it. So I used to cover a lot more on there, but it started out with Lucha Underground. Well, now there's no more Lucha Underground for now. I was covering House of Hardcore on a regular basis. Now we haven't seen any new stuff on Twitch for House of Hardcore in forever. I have to see if one of the older shows is still on there. Maybe I'll pull that up one of these days and review a retro show from House of Hardcore from 10 years ago or whenever it was. I gotta see what's on there. If it's still on there, maybe I'll do that sometime in the next week or two. If it's not, oh well, what are you gonna do? And then we're still waiting for WoW Women of Wrestling to come back. It's getting taped in a couple weekends from now, and then they're gonna put season 2 out on Access TV starting this fall sometime. So I'm guessing August, September, sometime maybe. We'll see. Or maybe a little later. Actually, probably October is probably a smarter guess. It's when stuff is new stuff is going to get pop up all over the place. Oh goodness, SmackDown's going to move to Fox. AEW is supposed to pop up somewhere. So yeah, this fall is going to be very interesting for wrestling. Things are going to be blowing up all over the place. Oh, one last quick look at the chat here. Who's the middleweight champion? Teddy Hart is. Is the Hart Foundation heel or face? I'd call them tweeners, but I think they're more baby face because whenever you hear them come out to the ring, people give them a lot of love and respect. And it's how they carry themselves. I mean, they may do some heelish things here and there, but everyone loves Davey Boy Smith, Brian Pillman Jr., and Teddy Hart. So, is there wrestlers that self-train themselves? Yeah, but you really do. I mean, a lot of people start out like that. I mean, like Young Bucks started out like that. CM Punk started out like that. Backyard wrestling. But you really do want to get trained. And it does take money. So save up your money, kid. I don't know how old you are, but if you're doing weight loss, can you show us what you look like now and after? Ooh. I know some people do that. I don't know if J-Bone's brave enough to do that. We'll see. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll start like one of my podcast buddies, G-Rod. He's got a YouTube. He's got a couple podcasts he does. Formerly part of the Rant With Ant podcast. If you're familiar with G-Rod, he's doing a weight loss vlogging series. He's doing DDP yoga, and it's actually really inspirational to me because me with a fused back and asthma and COPD, it's hard for me to exercise consistently. So it's, to try to find an exercise program that's not going to mess up my back more. DDP yoga actually might have some stuff for me. We'll have to wait and see. Might have to make a small investment in that in the future. You're up all night. Why are you up all night? All right, we're going to get out of here. Enough small talk. No, love you, Jackson Parker. Appreciate the small chat. Cheers to you. Much love. Thanks to everyone tuning in for this comeback of the MLW series here on Smash This Podcast. Don't forget to smash that like button, smash that sub button, and ring-a-ding-a-ding, ring that bell for notifications so that you know when more of my content hits your screen. Good night, folks.